I am a firm believer that a positive mindset can make someone unstoppable. I haven't always had this approach in life, and it's something that I have had to work at and build on as I've gotten older and gone through more experiences. I now embody something which is called the millionaire mindset, because my aspiration one day is to be a millionaire. It is not something that happens overnight, and it's something that has to be cultivated over time. And in this video, I'm going to talk through the mindset shift on how you, at any age that you may be, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, can adopt the millionaire mentality. Becoming wealthy isn't about simply just making money. It's about how you think about money and how you approach it. And these 6 mindset hacks will help you on your journey. Number 1, the art of calculated risk taking. All millionaires and all successful people have taken some form of risk in their journey to becoming wealthy and financially free. The difference is that they are generally calculated risks, not reckless risks. When you are on your journey, you need to make sure that you are avoiding making reckless risks and reckless decisions. I wanted to share with you a few examples of what a calculated risk would be, then showing the equivalent of it as a reckless risk. So, for the first one, the calculated risk would be starting a new business after thorough market research and financial planning. The reckless version of this would be quitting your job to start a business without any planning or savings. Both of these have the same goal and desire in mind, but are taking different approaches, and the calculated risk is much more likely to be successful than the reckless one. Millionaires are experts at taking calculated risks, and there are 3 key areas that they make sure they address when they are taking on any new risk. Firstly, their decision will always be informed. They will take all of the necessary precautions and do all of the research and investigation into the area they are looking to take a risk in before committing to anything. They will also during this do a risk assessment, carefully evaluating the risk versus reward, and more often than not, data will be involved in helping them make the decision on this. Thirdly, they will make sure that they have diversification. Let's say, for example, that they are choosing to make some new investments. Rather than investing all of their capital into one area, they will instead spread the risk and invest it into multiple areas. They are never ones to put all their eggs in one basket. Number 2, own your destiny. There are 2 types of people in the world. Those that are go-getters and go out there and grab the bull by the horns, and others that instead just let life happen to them. This is the concept around how much control one person feels they have on their own life, and people are bucketed into either an internal or external locus of control. People with high internal locus are typically those that feel they have a greater control over their life. They are the ones that are in charge of their own destiny, and they can go out and do whatever they want. And then on the other side, those that have a high external locus of control tend to believe that everything that happens to them is because of someone else or something else out of their control. So let's go through an example. You're at school, you've just had the results of an exam and you've done really well. A person with a high internal locus would respond to that saying, I did really well on the exam because I revised extremely hard. This person believes they did well because they put the work and the effort into it. Then let's look at someone with an external locus. They believe they did well on the exam because it was easy. It was not due to a result of them putting in any hard work or any effort. They believed that they only performed well because the exam was easy. Very 2 different perspectives. And if you choose to be an internal or an external type of person, it can have quite significant impacts on the trajectory of your life. In order to fully embrace the millionaire mindset shift, you need to be embodying internal locus control. When it comes to success, you really are the only person that is going to stand in your way. And once you understand that and believe it, then you will be able to step past it and look at where your opportunities are to drive your success and to drive your development and growth. One of the things I have found has really helped me in terms of building on my internal locus is actually journaling, writing down everything I am feeling. If I'm having an irrational thought, write it down and then analysing that thought. Does it make sense? Is it a little far-fetched? Am I being quite self-centered with the whole thing? Celebrate your wins and successes as well, no matter how small or big that they are. Taking the time to reflect on these moments and reflect on the small wins will build your confidence and your belief in yourself. It's very likely that you will get setbacks, but this is totally normal. The important thing is that you learn from them, you push past them, and you show resilience during those tough moments. If you are able to own your destiny, you will deliver greatness. Number 3, Playing the long game. Very rarely do great things happen overnight. If you think about it, building relationships with friends or loved ones, or building on a skill set that you really want to work on, none of those things happen overnight. All of them take time, investment, and effort in order to get them to a high level. The same thing applies when it comes to wealth building. Short-term thinking really can hinder wealth creation. So, for example, we as a society are conditioned to expect instant gratification and to buy whatever we want when we want. That can mean, for example, you end up spending money that you don't have. And for that instant gratification, you are in fact hindering your long-term wealth ambitions. Of course, there needs to be a balance with juggling long-term goals versus short-term needs. And sometimes you may have to compromise on the long-term goals to meet something in the immediate future. But if you are able to be consistent, for example, investing into a savings account every single month, you will start to see the benefit over the longer term period, and you will start to see the compounded benefits over that greater period of time. Number 4, dream big, plan smart. In my opinion, setting smart goals is an incredibly productive way in order to achieve your desires in life. I go into more detail about how you can create effective smart goals in another one of my videos, which I'll link down below for you. But when it comes to thinking about your life ambitions, thinking about what you want to be aiming towards, you should always be dreaming big. Blue sky thinking, and then you can always rein it in a little. If you are putting together ambitious goals and things that may seem a little far-fetched at the beginning, you will inevitably exceed your expectations because you are not creating boundaries for yourself. Number 5, fail forward. Failure can often be misconstrued as a negative. So many millionaires and successful people have been bankrupt at one time or another. Donald Trump being a great example of that. He is one of the richest men in the world, but several of his companies have filed for bankruptcy in the past. Just because you fail at one thing doesn't mean you're a failure. In my opinion, you learn so much more from your failures versus your successes. And if you can shift your mindset to approaching failure as a learning opportunity and a development opportunity, it can actually lead to innovation and growth for you. I have failed at so many things in my journey and on my life to financial freedom. And I know that I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't have gone through those experiences. I wouldn't have had the appreciation of certain things that I do now. This is why if something doesn't go to plan in my life, I always approach it with the mindset of failing forward. And this means taking risks, making mistakes, and learning from them. Utilizing that knowledge that you have gained to improve yourself and move yourself on in order to get closer to your goals. Key principles of this mindset are firstly, embracing failure as a learning opportunity, maintaining a growth mindset, viewing setbacks as temporary and surmountable, and so importantly, focusing on progress as opposed to perfection. If you're able to apply this concept, you'll see so many benefits. It builds resilience and perseverance, encourages innovation and risk-taking, and it reduces fear of failure. And then finally, the value creator's advantage. So the concept that I wanted to share with you in this section was that of a consumer mindset versus a producer mindset. We can sway between the two, but typically a person is one or the other. Here are some examples of what those types of mindsets look like. So firstly, a consumer mindset is typically focused on consumption and using resources. They tend to spend more than they earn, and they often seek instant gratification. They primarily take from the economy, and they are also typically risk adverse. However, a producer mindset is instead focused on creation and generating resources. They aim to earn more than they spend, are willing to delay gratification for long-term gains, they contribute to the economy, and they are a calculated risk taker. If you want to be successful and shift your mindset to the millionaire mentality, then you need to be adopting a producer mindset, being innovative, understanding where you can add value, and being a great problem solver. I read a really great book by Noah Kagan called The $1 Million Weekend, and he lays out really clearly the steps that you need to take in order to identify a $1 million business. And you don't even need to invest any money, just some of your time. He is of the view, and I completely agree, that every single person has frustrations and challenges in their lives. I'm sure that most days you look at something and you think, I wish that could be done easier, or surely there's a better way for us to do this. A producer mindset and someone that is a value creator is able to look at that situation and identify an opportunity with it. If you can learn to be a problem solver rather than a problem moaner, then you'll be able to successfully shift your mindset to the millionaire mentality. These 6 points are by no means exhaustive, but they will help you lay your foundations and drive you on your journey to becoming a millionaire. Let me know in the comments below which one of those mindset shifts are your favourite and which one you'll be adopting into your life. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.